What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode in the Unleashed Potential Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Haji, alongside Mr. Jabbar, Mr. Elmi, Mr. Hassan. How you guys doing, man?
All good, man.
How did you guys do without me last week?
Really good.
I can tell. I had a look at the video. Mashallah, you guys did a well job.
Yeah, I think we did all right, man.
Yeah, we did all right.
Yeah. Considering that topic just randomly came up, like we weren't even supposed to talk about that topic.
No, we wasted our time just sitting here talking. Yeah, we got to put that one up.
Yeah,
no, it was good. But it was a really important topic, and I would have loved to have been there, being what was it?
Polylinguist.
Yeah, what is it? Polylinguist.
Polyglot.
Even better. Yeah. But no, mashallah, and alhamdulillah, I'm well recovered. It's been a tough week. Before that, my voice was completely gone, as you guys know. But alhamdulillah, man. In the last week, we've had some few things happen. I think just around the world, what's going on today, and the way it's being shared around, and that's what our topic is today. Social media, in a sense, where I think everything in the world today is now accessible with a click of a button, right? Mm-hmm. It's whatever you do today, you click that button, it goes up. And that has its positives, it has its negatives. And that's what we're here to sort of, I think, just discuss on a personal level, in terms of one direction that we might go is doing the work versus looking like doing the work. And I think that's one of the biggest sort of things that social media covers up, where you can be
it's a highlight reel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Not only that, but what you put up there is there permanent as well.
Yeah.
So that's I think it's a two-way sort of discussion that we're gonna have today. Two subtopics that make up the one topic. What you put up on social media being there and having a permanent effect, whether it's positive or negative, and like you said, the highlight reel, and what that means as well. So how do you guys see social media? Are you guys big users? If we start off from there, do you guys use social media on a personal level much?
I'm a user. I don't post and put up a lot of like personal stuff on there.
Yeah.
I'm not on it all the time. So if I'm on it once a day, twice a day, maybe in the morning, before the evening.
Each time, roughly.
So like maybe throughout the whole day, I might be on it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes sometimes, depending on the day. If it's a busy day, sometimes I'm not even on social media. Like if it's like, you get up, go to work, do this, do that, come back home, and then you're so tired where you try to go on your phone before you go to bed or something like that, and you're asleep, So I won't use it. I find myself when I'm in it. So that half an hour when I'm using it like I'm in the social media world. But I find that even if you don't use social media a lot, like you use social media because you're friends. You might be out and someone will show you a post, like, hey, look at this, and then you'll be flicking through, and then you even be talking about it, and you know what I mean. So you might sit there. Might direct you to go and jump. Yeah, like you might be sitting there with a bunch of friends for half an hour and 10 minutes. You've literally been on social media without even using your phone. You know what I mean? So, I also use it for like if you use it right, I use it for news and stuff as well. So I get a lot of news through social media sometimes, like depending on what you follow and stuff like that.
And that comes a lot more, I think, unfiltered as well.
Yeah.
News through social media.
Yeah, well, the way I see it is I like to get my news from multiple sources. Yeah. Like, I don't want it to be just like the TV stations. I don't want it to just be the newspapers or whatever it is. I like to get it from all sources, so then you can see, because everything's always biased. No matter what, it will be biased one way or the other. But if you get it from all angles, you can make your own kind of like choice on what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, with social media, that's pretty much how I use it. I'm very aware of social media. I think we all are, because we grew up with it. Like we were at that age where you started to get phones, used to MSN, MySpace.
The good old days.
Really starting with it. So we've seen it get to where it is now. And the crazy thing is, even though that we've used it from when it started, pretty much, we're not experts in it, in the sense that you look at the young ones and they're like using stuff, seeing stuff, and then
completely different.
Yeah, so that's how I use it.
What about you, Elmi? You, I know yourself not being a big, not anymore at least, a big social media user.
I never used to be, man. I'm a user, but I'm not an abuser. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But
I love that.
You could put it in those terms, but wallahi,
I reckon you use it the least out of all of us.
yeah,
Out of all of us, yeah.
Like I've got Snapchat and I've got Facebook. That's about it, eh? I don't have Instagram.
You don't
all
use
that other stuff.
Facebook and
I
you
don't have
only
all that
snap
Twitter
us,
and all that.
so-
Only Snapchat.
Random weird stuff.
Yeah, he's at work.
This guy racing.
Yeah, and just wallahi, Facebook. I'm only on there for just to really suss things out. If anything pops up, man. Obviously with the news and all that, like me,
sports.
they used to have a nickname for me. They used to call me the lurker. Yeah, because I'm just there online. Like, you don't see me. Nothing, man. I'm on nothing, bro. No, nothing. Don't like nothing. Don't like comment. I used to lurk, bro. Lurk in the background, you know.
That's it. I saw it.
But the thing is, bro, wallahi, to be honest, it's for me, it's more of a like I understand where Jabar's coming from.
Yeah.
Like I'm on it every day. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yeah. Like sometimes, like actually majority of the time, to be honest, like first thing I get up. You know, we're supposed to say du'as, you know, and all that. So, alhamdulillah. But first thing I get up, where's my phone?
Yeah.
Where's my phone? What time is it? Okay. Who's this message? Okay. Snapchat? Okay. Facebook? Okay.
Yeah.
Good thing. Okay. Now it's time to get up.
Yeah.
But, subhanAllah, man, it's... Me, I don't have many social medias, but,
but
I'm not going to lie.
But you check and get up. You're not on it for 30 minutes before you get up. You know?
That's one thing also I wanted to raise, man. This phone, it's a good thing, but also it's a bad thing. But social media and going back to the topic and the influences, it's big, but not for me. Yeah, I'm not too much on that wave, bro.
I'm not using
I'm very different. I'm not different, but we're all the same, but I'm different in my own way. Yeah.
Fair enough. For me, I think I see social media as a blessing or a curse, depending on how you use it.
Exactly.
Whether you're someone who posts or someone who views, right? So either way, it can be a blessing or a curse for you.
Yeah.
And for me, I gotta admit, I'm pretty heavy in it. I'm on social media quite regularly.
Yeah.
And I think that it's been as more, I'm using it to become a blessing for me rather than a curse for me. I'm aware of the fact that if I abuse it, that it's going to become a a curse. It's going to be very detrimental. So I'm very, very cognitive of the fact that it can lead down that path. Yeah. And because I'm aware of it, I start to use it a little bit differently. Yeah. So I manage the amount of time that I spend on it. The reason why I go on it, my whole intention is different. Yeah. All of us, we have access to the UPP Instagram account, for example, and the Facebook one as well. A lot of us access it, but not to go on it just to go and view it for personal reasons. We go on it simply because we need to reply to some DMs. We need our intentions are different, right? Exactly. And that's the same thing with my personal one. If you go to my personal one, the last post is probably from
some wedding,
Christmas or some wedding, you know? I don't go on it specifically to post and promote or whatever. And I might have a separate account which is just specifically just giving Islamic information or whatever. So whatever intention I have for it, I try and make sure that it is for the betterment of myself, or at least to just get a bit more ajr. Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to get to. 2 points that you guys raised. One, firstly being the fact that when you wake up, it's the first thing you look at. Yeah. I'm a bit like that. Mm-hmm. Right, it's the first thing I look at. Any bit of free time that I'm sitting down, whether it be sitting at an office waiting for a meeting or just on a car ride, you look at it. Me,
stop right there. Let me stop you right there. You don't look at nothing when we're driving a car. This guy goes to sleep, man.
If you're in the passenger seat, for example, you don't
look at your phone, bro.
That is done.
Go to sleep, man. Get out of here, bro.
But see, in those gaps, I would look at it. I'd look at social media. But for me, I'm not a big poster myself.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily look at news. I don't really watch news in general, whether it be newspapers, TV, whatever it is. I just keep scrolling. But me personally, it's just to stay connected with people that I don't have access to right now. Like my family, friends. But
okay,
have a look at what they're doing, right?
But think about it. When you say to stay connected, is it to just monitor what they're doing, or is it to physically actually reach out and say, "Hey, how you going?" on a regular basis? Because a lot of people say, "I just want to stay connected." No, what you want to do is you just want to stay
aware
visible
of what they're doing,
and aware of what they're doing.
Adjacent to them, just watching.
No, I actually engage. Engage with them. and also make myself aware of what they're doing. Sometimes you don't, it's a lot easier to, because of time differences, especially with me, family being abroad everywhere, you can't necessarily be making phone calls all the time. So you leave a message, whatnot, and 9 out of 10 times, by the time you wake up or by the time you look at it back next, you've got a response. You know what I mean? So for me, it's worked in that sense. But the biggest thing where, number one being the amount of time it consumes and what that leads to if your intention is not correct. All right. So I think those two go hand in hand. And that's the part where comes in our actual topic line, which is doing the work versus looking like doing the work, right?
The thing is, like, Instagram, it gives you feedback as to how much time. Like, if you go into the insights, it'll tell you exactly how much time you spent on it, which day. Like, right? And it gives you the ability to also cap or give you like some sort of alert when you've gone over your required amount. So if, say, for example, you say, I don't want to spend more than an hour a day. You cap it at that, and then it'll alert you when you're either closer to that time or you spent that time, right? So it helps you to try and minimize it. But a lot of people just use that just to feel good, when really they end up spending way over that much.
Exactly. And with the way I think social media works is you start off with one sort of feed, one sort of topic, and it just catches you in that loop, right?
Not even that. You hear the ping on your phone, and you look at it, and it was someone that sent you something, and all you picked up your phone was to look at what the ping was, and then you're on there for 20 minutes, just sliding through posts.
Like, I think I'm not very active with Twitter as much, but like Instagram, you have the ability to enter what me and my wife call the vortex.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, the rabbit hole.
Or the rabbit hole. Yeah. And a lot of people are pretty much guilty of this as well. Is they go into somebody's post or they see a post that they like on their newsfeed. They go into that, check the profile picture. Then they find a unique name that like that picture. So they go into his or her profile picture. They're like, oh, that's interesting. What kind of business they do? They check the business page. Business page has somebody that they've collabed with. They go into that and then they've got a YouTube link. So now they're on a whole nother app.
And YouTube is its own little vortex as well.
Exactly. So, it's very hard, and it's very hard to try and backtrack all the way to the start where you started.
But see, all of that we discussed right now, it's still quite pretty innocent except in terms of maybe wasting your time on things that you shouldn't be, right? But that's still very innocent. The deadly part is when you've spent that much time in negativity, in criticizing other people's posts, hate, and a lot of people get very consumed in that. And social media, when I say what you put up there is permanent, you've put up a post that's negative. That's going to be there permanent. Everybody that reads it or sees it, you're sharing in that sense, right?
The word's out there.
The word's out there, exactly. But not just posts. What other people don't understand is also the negative comments and feedback that you do give. Now, you can give negative feedback as long as it's constructive. But just negative for purely the sake of hate, that is very dangerous. And that's where the whole intention part comes in.
Honestly, okay, so I think you should never give negative feedback, or if you're going to say constructive criticism, right? Because the problem with that is I find a lot of people hide behind the fact of constructive criticism just to give negative feedback. Because if you look into their work, they haven't actually constructed anything to give any criticism. You understand? So for you to give constructive criticism, you should have constructed something similar in that field for you to actually give advice. And even then, the people that have constructed something and have reached heights higher than you, they're not concerned with you. They're not there to actually criticize you anyway. So the only time you're going to get constructive criticism is if you ask for it. So a lot of the times when people give negative feedback and disguise it with constructive criticism, it's actually just that negative feedback.
Exactly.
So I think if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say it. Full stop. That's what I think, at least.
Yeah, but sometimes don't you get those... Say, for example, you post something on Facebook and it's a profile picture. I'm your mate. Most likely I'll write something negative just to take the piss out of you. You know what I mean?
See, that's different. Like, if you're joking, you're joking with your friends.
That's why I want to add it on top of what you said. Look, there's always a lot of people putting out a lot of negative out there, but also is put negative. You can put negative out there, but don't put negative out there to a level where you hurt the person, because it can actually have an effect.
No, if you know, I get what you're saying. If you know the person,
if you know the person,
no.
But some people are not. Bro, there's keyboard warriors, man. Like what you saying? Because they're hard behind the keyboard.
Yeah.
Man, especially when I watch YouTube, you know, I use YouTube quite a lot. The internet is one funny place, man. Honestly, if you guys want to have fun, this is what I reckon is fun. Like on the internet, I'll go on YouTube. Right? Just read the comment, man. You'll start crying, laughing. So funny. Me, I've got a anything makes me laugh. I've got a weird sense of humor. But the thing is, bro, the internet, to the viewers out there as well, listening, just what I wanted to add on top of you. If you're giving negative, at least try to make it on a clean piece of slate, you know? Don't kill the person. Try to make it as soft as you can, you know? Because a lot of negativity out there in the world.
I'm with Omar Hassan.
A lot of kids.
Cyberbullying as well. Like
suicide. You know, they do a lot of things, man. Because people say, oh, you look fat, or you look, oh yeah, mate, you look stupid, or anything negative. And that could affect the person, bro. Psychologically, physically.
But
so you always have to watch out what you say.
Even the ones that do it with a bit of criticism to help you, constructive or whatever it is lying. Because how many times do you see someone leave a negative, constructive criticism post, but there's been 40, 30 other messages above it that said the same thing? Like the audio could be bad, the video is bad, or someone's wearing the shirt wrong, or whatever it is. 50 people already mentioned it. Now you're going to write there and mention it saying you're going to be constructive?
Exactly.
Come on.
Now, not only that, the other thing that I would add on top of that is DM the person personally. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's, especially us as Muslims, there's that factor of you don't shame another person publicly. You know, even if you're going to say it in the nicest way possible, there's avenues for that. Direct message, inbox, you know, you email them personally. It's not... Commenting on a post is the same thing as saying it in front of a group of people.
And DM is like pulling the guy to the side.
Exactly. So that's the online version for it. Like right now, if we use for an example, I don't know if you guys heard that story that's been going on lately on Instagram.
Oh yes. Not to mention any names, but yeah, absolutely.
What's going on?
There's Islamic there's this guy, okay? He's Muslim. Well, he poses as being Muslim, apparently. He's also got 2 wives. Both of them are best friends and stuff. And he's got a business on the side.
I heard about this. Someone's telling me.
So they've been in some hot water because a lot of some of the users have basically exposed them to say that they're frauds and they're so and so, you know, and the list goes on. If you actually research, you'll find it. But if
Charles, let me tell you something about social media, bruv.
It's ruthless.
That I've learned. I don't know much that I've learned. What you see on the piece on your phone, or what you see is real life, it's two different stories, brother.
Yeah. Majorly.
Majority of the time, it's 2 different stories, brother. There's people who post, oh yeah, I'm doing, oh yeah, look at me, this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, if they actually, you legit see them in real life.
Exactly.
Bro, I don't want to judge, but for my experience, it's not as you know what I'm saying?
See that story right there, right? We're not here to decipher whether they were right or wrong, right? But
I'm saying, just to finish up, you cut me off. Don't judge what you see.
Yeah.
Like, you know, obviously the people were saying from that whatever couple who say, the negative, this and that. Whatever you read on the internet, the stats that you read on the internet and what's happening in real life,
2 different things.
2 different things, man.
Exactly.
That's my point I want to bring across.
Exactly. With this couple, we're not here to decide whether they're right or wrong, right? Yeah. But the fact that they've put this story up, right? Whether they did it or whether it was put up there, it's permanent. 1, all right. So that's not gonna go away.
Especially 2, once people screen record and that's
exactly
done.
That's 1 day, right? 2, all this backlash that you're facing, it's because you've shared what should have been private to you, right? Regardless of what you're doing is right or wrong, there's no need for you to put it up there, right?
I think. I'm gonna put a question mark on that.
I'm gonna put a question mark on your question mark.
I'll put a question mark.
What's your question mark?
I know what you're trying to say.
So what I'm trying to say is that when you say they shouldn't put it up, I think it comes back down to the intention. If you're, because social media, right, is a stage, and you get to be any character that you want on that stage.
Exactly.
Right? Now, if you choose to be to use that stage to be a character that gives, like sound advice, that portrays something that is beneficial to other people. So, for example, if this is a Muslim couple that exposes their whole life, right? If you're doing it to benefit other married couples, to show them what married couples should be doing, to make it look like, Muslim couples can actually have fun. They can actually do all these things. If that's your intention and you've purified your intention to be just that, I think like you would have some sort of barakah in it. You would not reach this level. But if your intention is to just show off, right, and use that stage, to gain other material needs or whatever it is, then obviously it's going to come back to bite you. Yeah.
My asterisk on your asterisk there was, it's a bit different because you got to know where you're putting it up. Like, this is the internet we're talking about. Your intentions can be good. You got to double, triple, quadruple check what you're putting up
exactly.
Because your intentions couldn't be good. You put it out there, they'll meme you, they'll roast you, they'll look in. Or let's just say this, like, you get popular to the point where your stuff will be on social media that you don't want to be. Someone will record you when you're at the grocery store, you're at an event, you're at a function. So your intentions could be good. You're caught slipping somewhere, someone puts it up, you're gone. So social media isn't always just what you put up as well. It's what your friends could be posting up when you're with them without you knowing. It could be, you know what I mean? So you got to be very careful of yourself at all times near any devices.
Absolutely. Like, you have to be careful what you post up. And even when you do post it up and it's something that's to show other people, you got to make sure you're actually living it. Not just for show, right? Because it comes back down to your intention. Exactly. If you're just showing it, then it's different to you actually living it and showing other people this is how you should be living. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you're putting up a post saying, make sure you pray 5 times a day, and you're showing posts of you going to the masjid or whatever.
But you're doing a U-turn in the parking lot.
Exactly.
Someone's recording
going
back.
You get what I mean?
Brother, come back.
So eventually you're going to get exposed, right?
And that leads to like a lot of people trying to compare their lives with other people just because this whole thing going on Instagram right now, living my best life. What is your best life? You know what the thing is, and are you actually living it? Like, if you are living as you post up on your Instagram and your life is that colorful and that beautiful, mashallah, kudos to you. You know what I mean? But then you've got to understand that 90% of people are not, having breakfast at some fancy hotel,
different country every day.
Every day, you know what I mean? And they're not fully dressed up from head to toe in new clothes every day. You know what I mean?
I get you on that one, but like, we've spoken about this before, I think, on the podcast, and everyone has spoken about it to the point where they even have memes and stuff online that show, someone with a nice photo or a nice car, and then next thing you know is they don't have the car. Remember the Bow Wow challenge where he's talking about private jets, and the next thing you know, it's him on a commercial plane. Like, people are so aware and even making fun of the fact that most people that post stuff up isn't what they normally do, but people still try. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, we know it so well that, okay, it's not true, like most of these people are faking it. So now people, I think, try to fake it even harder to make it look like they really do it, like they're really about it.
So that links to the other line of question that we wanted to discuss, was faking the work as opposed to actually doing the work. But before I get into that, there was this line that I heard, where it goes, show me your life in between your last 2 posts.
Yeah.
And tell me whether people will actually follow you or not. So you post a nice fancy dinner with you and your wife. Yeah. Then you go home, and we actually follow you, right?
Yeah.
You're having Roman noodles. Roman noodles. Are you fighting with your wife? Or
exactly.
Your kids are messed up. Your house is all messy and everything, You don't even gym. Then the next post is you at the gym, right? Yeah. That life in between, people are not going to follow.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's not cute. It's not fancy.
It's not real.
The thing about social media is entertainment. You got to show people what they want to see. That's like, I don't know, from what you're saying, that story, read between the 2 posts. Yeah. It's like, when you watch TV, the news, when they sit in the news, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Us.
Yeah.
Man, we're dropping a lot of things like before we record. But obviously once we record, it's the
session starts.
The session starts that we put out and stuff like that. So the thing is, like, people want to see, they don't want to see the background stuff. They want to see the highlights. So like you said, before, like read between the lines of the two posts.
Yeah,
that's crazy. First time
So,
I heard it, man. It's just
so
highlight reels.
If
That's
people
it.
followed us in between our last 2 posts, do you think we're actually authentic? I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say well, a lot of the times, whatever I speak about is true, and that's part of the reason why I actually back this podcast so much. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be biased, but I think if people follow me in between my 2 posts, I wouldn't say it's 100% as it is, right? But we don't about 90 something.
We don't throw posts off like that
because not everybody is perfect. Yeah. And
I don't see you on some yacht on the beach somewhere. No, you know what I mean? So like,
not even that. Our posts don't even have filters. Yeah, like we don't even filter it that much.
Yeah,
like,
so that's what I mean. Like we're pretty genuine with what we put up. So if you look between our posts, it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
Do you know the amount of unhappiness is spread through people trying to compare their lives to other people's lives through social media? Like the amount of unhappiness it causes a lot of people out there that, people that they're chilling with or the people that they meet, and their Instagram page shows that they've been to this place, they do this,
It goes even further to the point where people buy likes.
Yeah.
Like people buy likes
and followers.
Do you understand that? Like how ridiculous is that?
Oh, yeah, bots
for you to post up something and then you buy your likes.
Yeah.
As if those fake likes are going to make you feel some sort of happiness, let alone you comparing it with someone else and then you go and take some fake photo. Like, it's too much.
But we're talking about it as in like how people are like so strung onto it. And we're looking at people like they're celebrities or they're kind of idols and stuff. But like social media goes like down to your friends. Like you post something up and your friend doesn't like it.
Yeah.
They get hurt over it. Like, he didn't like my post.
So then when you
left a
post
message
something
on
up,
scene or,
it's crazy.
It's this whole cycle where, like, you see kids nowadays, they'll post up, won't get a like from their friend, and then they have beef the next day at school. Like, you do that when we were kids, you get
because it's a form of validation, right? Like, we are people, right? Yeah. We like to be validated by other people. Yeah. Whatever it is that we do, if the majority of people criticize us, we're never going to do that thing again out of the fact that they've scared us away from doing it. But if they validate it and they like it and they share, you're going to keep doing it. Absolutely. For us, and just to let the viewers know, even if you don't like what we post, we're going to keep doing it. We're not validated by you.
I like that.
We try and put content out there, because our intentions are different. Right? But a lot of people, they pamper and they cater to the likes and the follows and the verified signature that they get. Yeah. That's what they try and aspire to get. Why? Because they see that as a form of
growth.
As a form of, I'm validated by all these people. What I'm doing is actually work, as opposed to actually doing the work. Because, like, you think about it, right? If your job is to try and make people think you're doing a job, then you don't actually have time to do the actual job.
Yeah. That's true. You're spending too much time trying
You've created an additional unnecessary job.
Or you fake it until you actually make it.
But then when you make it, you're fake.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're just taking photos of like fake stuff and going on and stuff like that, that's one thing. But if you're like, I don't know, doing arts and craft or some sort of sport or going to the gym and you're faking it, but then you want to fake it more often because I gotta go today to go to the gym to make it look like I'm doing some workout, and tomorrow and the day after, next thing you know, you went to the gym 5 days. 6 months later, but like,
you spend majority of the time taking photos
exactly.
Trying to get the right angle.
That's true, but some people try to fake it so well that they actually put in the work. You see what I mean? So then a week later,
someone minority, very
actually happens.
He's got a really good point there.
But I get where you're coming from.
No.
It happens to a certain level.
Here's what I'm saying, because that guy a week later they'll be like, your arms ain't growing. You've been there like, you know what I mean? Your legs ain't growing. So he's like, okay, let me just do a little bit of extra. And then he keeps adding on. But that always, like I said, depends on what you're trying to fake, right? Because if you're just trying to fake like vacations, or you can put a green screen behind you and every week take a different photo and make it look super realistic. You know what I mean?
That's actually a good idea. I'll take that one on board.
Yeah? And then your geolocation's in the wrong spot, so it messes it up completely. It's like Perth, Western Australia, he's in Greece.
I'm dead, yeah? Get caught out by yourself.
100%. It's dangerous. It's dangerous, I think.
But with the other point I was going to make is some of the reasons why that a lot of people do this stuff on social media is because we say social media versus the real life is they're trying to get what they don't have in real life in the social media. Because if you have a really good group of friends and family and support and you're getting that validation, you buy some new clothes, you know, before you even take a picture, your friend's like, yo, no, you're looking good. Your family members, stuff like that. You're less likely to try to seek that online from people you don't know. You know what I mean?
I think also based on the fact that you're getting the same reward. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're doing the work and you've achieved a certain level of success, people are going to, you know, come towards you and they're going to actually, you know, celebrate you and they're going to give you some sort of, you're going to feel a sense of achievement, right? If you do it correctly. But at the same time, if you can cheat the system, take a photo as if you've actually successfully made yourself into whatever it is that you want to make yourself, and still get the validation, you're getting the same reward.
With less work.
With less work. So that's why people they take that easy option, not realizing that you've actually created a fake sense of achievement, a fake sense of happiness, instead of actually achieving something and actually feeling something. So you take a photo with you and your wife, right, to show people that you're romantic, happy or you're romantic, take her out to dinner, when instead of actually focusing on the fact that you should be trying to be happy, you should be trying to take your wife out and actually enjoy it without showing it off to other people.
Yeah, but that's the reason why I put it up, as in the fact that if you have that in real life, you don't really want that, because I find myself always after the fact saying, man, I should have took a photo and posted it. You know what I mean? You're so into that moment. We're out with friends, playing pool, going bowling, paintballing, whatever it is. Yeah. You have this awesome moment. You go back home, you reflect on it. You're like, man, I should have took a photo to post it up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Whereas some people,
it's the first
everything they did that whole day was planned for the photo. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
outfit they chose. Made sure the weather was right on the day.
Exactly.
Yeah, the location, everything was for the photo.
Before you take a bite into the food, photo's gonna be taken.
Wait till everybody's like, I'll happily wait for my food to get cold, and you know, just so that the table's all set out nice.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, friends not wearing nice clothes, crop them straight out.
Because those people believe.
I'll do that. I don't like post it up. I'll just send it to the boys, you know, doing this or doing that, like Snapchat.
Yeah, but
it actually becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit, but the thing is, you're not too fussed if you manage to take, like, you, for example, if the food comes, whether you remember halfway through the meal, at the beginning of the meal, you'll still send that post.
I'm gonna.
Think about it. Okay, so your intention, for example, your intention to take the photo, is it to show off? It's not to show off, right?
Not really.
Like, a lot of people, like I said to you, is the reason why if they go out to dinner and they post it real nice and fancy is to show that they're, you know, look, I'm eating nice, I'm eating good, which means I've reached a certain level of success where I'm getting paid good enough to eat out like this. And they fake it as if like it's every single day. So show me your life in between
they drive past the restaurant, the next day they just take a photo of the front just to say they've been there.
Exactly.
But that's the thing. And the thing is, in order to keep up this charade, like, how much are you spending? Used to see. To go eat out weekly. Yeah.
Even if it's not to eat out, like I said, taking the photos in the front and faking it. It's this time. The biggest one that people take out from their day.
And you get to a point where you start to believe your own little lies. This life that you have outside of your life. You know what I mean? Yeah. You start to believe it. And it gets to the point where you can't go without it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, like I said, it's a stage and you design the character that you want to be. The problem is when you stay in character 24/7 and you can't come out.
An absolute on-point description of what social media is. It's a stage. You be if you want to be, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be superstar, it can be a superstar.
Male or female.
And it's also like
what's that thing that show? That catfish.
Man,
I found about that show. I think last year or something.
No way, right?
And it's so late.
Anyway, leave it there. But bro, people actually pose as different. Nah, these are actually scary, bro.
Of course.
But you want me to help you out? You want me to help you out? Right click the image and then Google search this picture. Like, you can Google search the image. So if you have someone's profile picture, right click it, search it through Google, or search all Google images for that photo. So if it'll show up like some actress somewhere, wherever else it showed up. That's one of the hints. Just so you don't get catfished. That's some advice out there for everybody.
That actually happened to me once.
You see what I mean?
Nah, bro. I'll tell you guys after. I don't get catfished. I'm not stupid, man. It's like, listen, bro. Long story short, we'll continue after that. Nothing happened. Alhamdulillah. But the thing is, bro, it's actually scary, bro.
It is. It's
actually-
scary.
It's not even
It's
that.
actually scary, bro.
We talking
When I was
about-
watching a TV show, it came up, and then I was like, "What the hell?" It was a girl, but it was actually a guy.
Yeah.
Going for a guy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
subhanallah, man.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No,
This
but
world's crazy,
with
bro.
social media, I was like, it's not people just faking it. They have like, was it the American elections that the Russians hacked via all social media and stuff like that? And deep fakes,
Yeah.
you guys know about deep
What is
fakes,
that?
right? Where they have artificial intelligence
Yeah.
that create media.
Yeah.
So
I've heard
they'll
about that,
literally,
Heard about
like,
that,
for example, they'll find someone saying something that looks like you. So they'll take the face of you and put it on that face or AI and make you say other stuff. Like they can make a video however they want to without actually putting in the work using artificial intelligence, like messing it up, like,
Wow.
you know, all that sort of stuff.
Like-
so they can fake a fake video, like deep fake.
Let
So
me tell you something.
Yeah.
And that's social media. It goes through elections. There's been people paying to charities and stuff like that. There's social media pages, websites, and it's all just fake. Like as he said, posts with bots and likes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's so bad that, like we're saying, people are so addicted to social media, trying to be someone else in a platform that's full of fake stuff.
Yeah.
And people always think that like they're the tops, you know, their shit don't smell and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But when you actually look at the amount of media in social media, you are seeing a percent of a percent of a percent of the percent of everything out there.
Yeah.
So when you even think about the fact that what you're being shown is specifically shown to you
Yeah.
because of you.
Yeah.
Everything you
Obviously,
Google search,
yeah,
everything
all
you,
the stuff that you do.
know what I mean?
It's all the algorithm.
Yeah.
So
Coming back to that point, Abduljabar, you help me with this. Once you put anything, a picture, anything, photo, type up something on the World Wide Web, where the Snapchat is still part of the World Wide Web,
Yeah.
that's it, brother. It's there
yeah,
forever.
there's a saying
Yeah.
that like
There's no raising. Even if you delete it, there's no raising.
there's a saying
some
that
sort
says,
of.
be prepared. Everything
Yeah.
you post up, be prepared for it
That's
to be
it. It's there,
permanent.
bro.
So
They can bring it back.
Even if you posting up something or sending it to a friend, anything that's getting through the internet, and you know it's something that's safe. Like I'm gonna send it to Haji right now, WhatsApp. I'm gonna send it to whoever it is. Always assume that it's gonna get out there somehow. It possibly can get out
Yeah.
anytime you use it.
Yeah.
That's the mentality
thing
you
is,
should
like-
be going into.
Okay, so from this discussion, it seems like we're only touching on the negatives. I think there's a lot of positives when it comes to social media.
There is.
Like, for example,
Yeah.
the Sudan crisis right now that's happening. I saw an amazing post where somebody said, Sudan have managed to shut down the internet without any internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you
Yeah,
understand that?
yeah.
Yeah?
They don't have any internet there. or
No, it's been cut off.
Yeah,
All
it's
communications
blocked.
have
Yeah.
been cut off. But the fact that they've managed to, like, I go through my Instagram feed and I'm scrolling through the pictures and they're all blue.
They're all
Yeah.
blue,
They're all
exactly.
blue, raising awareness,
yeah.
right? So there's a lot of instances where social media has been used for the betterment of society or the betterment of a community or a country. And it's very powerful, right? Because it's like now it's an extension of someone's hand. It's always there. And if you lose it, you get some sort of like a mini heart attack. Where,
Yeah.
oh, where's my phone? I'm going to be honest. I'm guilty of that. Like I have my phone every single place,
You need it.
everywhere,
Yeah.
right?
Everywhere.
It's become to that level. But I make sure that I minimize the effects of it, right? Even though it's in my hand, I
Yeah.
still minimize some
Try
sort
to
of effects
control
of
it.
it. Yeah,
But that's
try
the
and
reason
control
why
it.
I brought up what you're being shown is specifically shown to you is because you can kind of tell why you're using social media
Yeah.
just by going onto your Discovery or your Explorer page, you know, where they show you suggesting stuff. Just look at that and you know what you look like, why you're using social media.
Yeah.
You know, if that stuff is just full of BS and pointless stuff, whatever, then you're just someone that just likes to go on social media and just
For the
watch some
social.
random. If your stuff is like all about motivational quotes, videos,
Islamic
like
stuff,
Islamic
whatever
stuff,
it is.
politics, news, sport, whatever it is, then you can see, okay, that's what I'm using it for. But like, it's very deep in both sides. Like,
Yeah.
like the negatives can go so far deep.
Yeah.
Where, like, it will
So
ruin
it's,
you.
it's a blessing and a
But
curse.
the
depending
positives
on,
are so far deep. No, the thing is, like, a lot of the times it's just like a regular scale.
Yeah.
But this is like a huge scale. Like, it goes deep up and down the other way. So when you see someone being on social media, they can be anywhere in that spectrum. They can be all the way on one end. They can be half. They can be 50-50. They can be a quarter. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that if you're not using it to its utmost potential, you can use it for like entertainment. Like if you spend it for 10-15
it's
minutes
crazy
a day,
though
you
how
can use it
much
for
like
entertainment.
society has changed to that level. Like you remember back in the days before social media, before Facebook, right? If you went out to eat, was it ever a thing to take a photo? If yes, it was with a group photo,
Yeah.
and it was one camera that had that photo.
One shot,
and
yeah, that's
one
it.
shot.
blurry.
and it's gotta be printed digitally or whatever, you know, and then
couple of months till you get a copy.
before you
If
get a
you
copy,
get a copy.
and at the most you might show it to someone and that's it.
Put it in the album and catch dust.
And the same thing if you meet like your favorite artist, the same
You're
thing
getting a
with
signature.
or you get the signature. You can't show it to the whole world.
Yeah.
But now if you meet someone that's famous, you take a photo with them.
You're automatically famous too.
Not just that, like you can fake it to the level where you put in a caption and everybody's got to believe it, right? Like you take a photo
Just
with
came out
one
of a meeting
celebrity,
with my man.
just came out of a meeting with
Yeah.
my man.
Like, you saw
big
him.
things coming.
Yeah.
When really you just ran into him.
Ran into him.
And you just took one photo. The guy
it.
doesn't even know your name. He doesn't even know what you do,
Yeah.
right? But you leave it to that level. Why? Because you feel that your association with this person can open up opportunities for you, and
Fake it.
And
those
now other
opportunities
people will be interested in what you do because
you look at it, now you're looking at me different because of taking this photo.
Fake
Like
it till you
it's,
make it.
yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how society has changed just through social media.
and now with the kids growing up in this day and age where 12, 13-year-olds are on social media,
Oh, you're like younger
it's
than that.
different to when we were growing up. You know what I mean? And
we had like the one thing I dislike about social media is like stories. Like because you don't have social media, if I spend, let's say it's trying to think back when we used to have like school holidays, right? Like I might say, hey, you want to meet up this weekend on Saturday? I'll have no connection with you other than maybe the home phone, which you guys don't use always that much with each other. Maybe we'll talk once till the Saturday. So when I meet you on that Saturday, if we go out to eat or whatever it is, I have a whole week of stuff that I've seen and experienced that I can sit down and we're gonna have a mad conversation about. But if we're always instantly talking to each other, send this picture, send this story, send this thing, send that thing. We go sit down on Saturday.
there's nothing to talk about.
There's nothing really
We've
to
been
talk
out to date
about.
the whole week together.
You know what I
you
mean?
know?
Exactly.
Like, all right, cool. So like either you got to go do something to create an experience or that's it because you have everything to talk about. And that's what social media kind of...
It also has that effect where, you know, it's supposed to, in some cases, it's supposed to bring you closer to those around you where in ways it can take you further away.
It isolates you.
Yeah.
Isolates you.
You
Like
same
you have
dinner table
6
on
people
the phone.
sitting at a dinner table all on their
All on
phones,
their phones.
not conversating, you know what I mean?
What do you mean, man? When I'm not gonna. I'll leave you guys out of it. But when we kick back with the other boys, you know,
Yeah. Nobody's conversing.
We're going for lunch.
And that's the thing
Everyone-
that I always...
I'm the only majority. It's me that's saying, "What the hell is going on here? Guys? Get off your phones, man. My phone's old." But nah,
He's got no data. It's like,
Hey,
get on your phone.
exactly.
It's actually, bro.
Nah, you know the worst
it's
part
sad,
about,
man.
Nah, the worst part
Because I
about
caught
that,
I caught a train for the first time in a long time, bro. Like in years, like. To the viewers out there in Australia, we don't catch like we got. Alhamdulillah, you know we got our own cars and all this.
Everyone does.
yourself,
We're
bro.
very
I
lucky,
catch
alhamdulillah,
trains.
bro.
I catch
Yeah.
trains, bro.
Unfortunately, we work in the city. But the thing is, I caught a train, yeah. And subhanallah, bro, it shocked me, man.
Yeah, the amount of people that are on it.
Everyone's like this.
But to me, it doesn't bother me because
Everyone's like
I was on
that.
a
And I
train when I
looked
was
around
a
and I
kid.
said,
Everyone
what
used
the
to
heck?
sit there and not look at each other or talk to each other either
No,
way
they used
without
to,
phones.
bro.
Yeah, but
They used
4
to,
out of
man.
5 people, 4 out of 5 people are on their phones. The fifth person is reading a book.
Yeah.
No,
You know?
but what I'm saying is... when
Only
you-
because he forgot his phone at home. Or
Probably.
something. you
Or the
know?
phone died.
Or
the book was
phone
in the
died.
back. No, but I'm saying when I was a kid, when we used to go on the trains and stuff, and there was no phones and stuff, people would just sit there. 4 out of 5 people still had the book. People don't read books all the time they went there. Like they still would just sit there, looked at each other. So like Haji said, if you're gonna be sitting there on the train doing nothing, and you
might
wanna
as well.
you wanna entertain yourself, like I'm okay with that. But here's the thing I was gonna say that's frustrating that happens to us. People will be out, so everyone will be on their phone. Someone will be finished, you know, he'll just read a few posts, whatever. He's been on his phone for half an hour. He'll put his phone down and be like, he looks up and he's ready to join the conversation. Everyone's on their phone. Why is everyone on their phone? You know? Come on, get off your phone.
Get off
Yeah,
your
like,
phone. I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Me, it annoys me because I sit there for 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Everyone's on their phone. So I'm like, might as well go on my phone. The second I grab my phone, why are you guys on your phone?
Yeah, why
Like,
you guys on your phone? No, but you know the other point where like society is heading to as well. Like, if something happens, what's the first thing people do? Record, take photos, post up. I mean, whereas
Which it can be, like we said, a good thing or a bad thing.
Exactly.
So, you know, like cops doing some bad stuff, you whip out your
exactly.
phone. Or when there's like a crisis.
It's a very sharp double-edged blade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, like somebody could be dying and everybody's there on their phone recording. You know, instead of helping the person. But then again, like
people
you said,
wouldn't have helped in the first place. you know?
Exactly.
But I think the first time I realized
I'll give you
that
one
social
scenario.
media
I'll
was...
give you one scenario, bro. Sorry to cut you off. I just remember one thing. I remember I took my little cousin to the beach. we were stuck in a rip.
Yeah.
Me, alhamdulillah, I know how to swim.
Yeah.
He was on the bodyboard. He was stuck in the rip. The thing about, like, to listen out there, the viewers in Australia, the rip is like
It pulls you away from
when the
shore.
waves pulls you away. So like, you know, us, alhamdulillah, we've got nice beaches here and stuff. Literally, man, about 5 meters is where the sandbank was.
Yeah.
Between the water and the beach. And then my little cousin slipped. Obviously, he's lost grip. He doesn't know how to swim in the rip.
Yeah.
His feet wasn't touching the bottom because you know how the bank of sand sinks.
Yeah.
All right, man. I had to swim. God. I kept him up. We were getting pulled back, but I was coming back.
Yeah.
And then I was literally screaming to the people.
Yeah.
Oh, we nearly drowned, bro.
Yeah.
We nearly drowned. Because I had him up.
Yeah.
I couldn't float because the rip was taking me away. I could float by myself.
Yeah.
I had him up and he was panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the worst.
So I kept on throwing him and then he pushed me down and going for water. Well, subhanAllah, bro. Let me tell you this story, bro. Wallah, you know what he said to me, bro?
What?
He said, Wallah, my little cousin, alhamdulillah, is alive today. He said, I'm sorry. Like, we in that situation, I was about to die, man.
Yeah.
He said, I'm sorry. Then I was looking up and I was like, what the hell? Everyone's on their phones, bro.
Yeah.
No, honestly, man.
Yeah.
Everyone was just sitting down on their phones. And I was thinking, bro, when I got up, I was about, when alhamdulillah, luckily my legs just tapped, hit the bottom and I got grip. And then, bro, we need to drown, bro.
Yeah,
the
well,
fact
it's
that
dangerous.
The
Exactly.
people was right there on the beach.
Yeah. We swimming between the flags? That's the first thing.
They were there, but
Look,
not
man.
actually.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
Alhamdulillah, for me,
You would have.
You got out of it.
yeah, we constantly go to the beach. I would have got out of it. It's all right. It wasn't, the waves were all right, man, that day. It wasn't bad. But the thing is, man, if people actually paying attention to what's going on,
No, but if the
You know what I
scenario was
mean?
different,
Yeah.
there was two people that couldn't swim properly, and all those people sitting there were just on their phones.
Bro,
Like you said,
if
there
I
but
don't
not
know,
there.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
right now, if I don't know how to swim, or if my cousin,
It would've been
because
a completely
what happened, he
different
was
story.
alright. He was floating on his bodyboard.
Yeah.
If he didn't know how to swim, and if I don't know how to swim,
Go on.
Yeah.
Bala would have been finished, Bala.
Yeah. That's crazy.
he knows how to swim, but he
There
panicked.
was that post as
He
well.
panicked,
There was
bro.
that post of this one guy who basically goes around to playgrounds, and he gets permission, obviously, from the parents, from the other parent. But he goes around when he sees one parent on the phone, watching a kid, basically, or supervising a kid, not actually supervising, right? Because he's on his phone. He'll kidnap the child or like lure them in and take them away to the other parent who's hiding behind, right?
Oh,
And
wow.
just watches their reaction once they get off their phone and realize that their kid is not there, and then educates them about the fact that when you're supervising your child, you need to actually be present.
Be present,
right?
exactly.
And then the other thing is like, you have to understand that your concentration level is being either diverted or it's being minimized, right? When you're on your phone. Because when you're on your phone, you're not paying attention to the conversation that's around you.
Yeah.
You're not paying attention to anything that's around you. Including your wife, for example. If you're sitting down and you're on your phone and you're talking to your wife, you're not actually talking to your wife.
Exactly.
Right? So, and that in some cases ends a lot of marriages. So social media either ends your marriage, kidnaps your child, makes your cousin drown, or
You can't feel the two
Whatever it
heat
is.
beams on the side of your head.
You can't.
let me
You
tell
can't.
you.
feel them?
No,
Hey,
you can't,
I was
bro.
having a conversation with the old man. Let me tell you about this. SubhanAllah, bro. I was having a conversation with the old man, and he told me, "Do you know why a lot of people have like problems in their relationship? They got back in their day, the olden days. He said now, SubhanAllah, it made me laugh. This guy had a funny sense of humor. He said, bruv, your wife or anyone like for us, a lot of people have problems because they're in your pocket, bro. They're in your pocket. That's what he said. They're in your pocket. Whether it's your wife, whether it's your mate, it's in your pocket. He said you're always talking to them, communicating with them. But when the one, like he said,
When the time comes.
when the time got face to face,
Bro, what are you talking about? The world is so small.
everyone's in your pocket, bro.
Back in the day when you were enough
Subhanallah,
with your,
it's
when you
just
had
funny.
enough with your wife, you'd just be like, I'm gonna get a couple cigarettes, move 2 towns down, and you'll never see her again.
Yeah.
Now you got social media where everything is shown, so it's so small. But the point I was gonna say before I got cut off was the first time I really realized that social media can be helpful was one of the terrorist attacks where it was people were saying I'm okay via like sending it in via
on Facebook.
on Facebook and stuff like that.
Not even
which
that,
would've-
the earthquake as well in Nepal, I think it was. That happened. Yeah.
So then the fact that how helpful that can be, as well as it being people go, oh, there's a GPS on your phone, so the big man's always watching you. Yeah, but if you're on a holiday, you go into an avalanche, that might be what saves you. You know what I mean? So depending on how you use it, I think that was the first time it
That
opened my
Facebook
eyes.
Live as well.
Yeah, that Facebook Live can, because I think, who was it? Well, I remember there was a specific article I was reading where it was an officer or whatever it is, you know, mistreating the person, and the person was Facebooking Live and the officer thought it was just recording, so the officer deleted everything off the person's phone.
Yeah.
It's live, man. Everyone already had it.
That's gone, bro.
It was
That's gone.
over.
Catch you later,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
catch you
Like,
later,
it's
yeah.
over. And then now they also have the police wearing the actual, like, it's like with social media, it's so good and so bad that the hardest part of it is that it's moving so fast that it's hard for lines and actual things to be drawn, because the government now is like, have you seen it? In America, when the governments are talking about social media and like, because of how it affected their relationship, and you see these people at the highest position of power asking Google, "How do you guys get paid?"
Yeah, because they don't understand.
They don't.
They don't
It's
know.
ad money.
Yeah.
Are you sure is someone else not putting money in? You put like, and these guys are at the position of power.
And that's some of the
And
most
they
ridiculous questions.
Don't know. I think the funniest one was the guy asked the guy from Google, why when I put idiot or something like that in Google Images, the first thing I see is Trump. It's like, you guys doing it? It's like, no, you gotta understand. It's just the
algorithm.
ones. Yeah, the way the algorithm works, of course. Like, they don't get it.
But yeah.
Coming off that top, that's the beauty of life, bro. That's the beauty of life, you know?
The thing is, like,
Life is not perfect, man. There's the yin and there's the yang, as the
ups and
Chinese
downs.
say, you know? There's that. It's balanced, brother.
and a lot of people, when they go on social media, all they see is the perfect side.
Yeah.
Right? Or the fake perfect side, as opposed to the real side or the ugly side, right? Because there's how many people are going to post up that they're, you know, on their Facebook, anything negative that's happened to them? Nobody.
Nobody.
A deal that went bad, they had an accident or something, or
Grievance,
you know,
whatever it
like they lost them. You know what's
I
weird? Actually,
was just about to say.
you know what's weird is when now there's a trend of parents who post up or create accounts for their children.
Yeah.
And some of their children are not even old enough to understand the English language, let alone you know, be old enough to log in and whatever. So they create an Instagram page, for example, and they just post pictures or whatever, and then they write captions, you know, like, "Oh, you love mom" or "you love dad." When it's so weird, but you know, I don't know what their intention is, whether it's to create some sort of memory for them,
it's money,
so that when they're 18 they give them the access and they can go back and look at it.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but
You
it's
gotta
reached that
understand.
level. It's reached that level.
I'm pretty
where-
sure most people, like,
It's
majority of
monetary.
them, their intentions are really good.
No.
I reckon.
I
that's what I
completely
believe. No, bro, because it's a child, man.
No, but I'm
I
saying
reckon it's
if-
cute,
if-
man.
if-
I've seen
Look,
that.
if you're
I reckon it's
posting
cute,
once
man.
a week,
I had
if you're
a child,
posting,
I'll post them on my page if I want to post them.
yeah,
not
but
create a page
if
for
you
them.
make a YouTube profile, and
Maybe the internet, you can make money from the internet these
that's
days.
what I
That's
mean.
the thing.
That's
So
what
it's
I'm
not pure
saying.
intentions
That's
anymore.
not pure
There we
intention.
go. There
Like,
we
you
go.
gotta understand.
Yeah, but still, hold up. Let me finish my point. They want to make money so they can support the child. 21st
there's-
By
century,
using
bro.
the child.
Like there is both, because there's like one of the most biggest YouTube channels is unboxing children toys, right? Which is YouTube is social media as well. And what they do is a kid opening toys, talking about the toys, so kids can watch it. And you know what I mean? And so obviously the parents are the ones doing everything, because you look at the production, it's amazing, right? That's a good thing. If the kid likes to do it, then there's nothing wrong with it. Then you have the other thing, because kids nowadays, they watch something and then it's just on autoplay. Then the next thing that comes on is what they watch. And then the next autoplay that comes, and they'll just sit there and watch the same different cartoon over and over again. And people know this, and people know kids binge watch it. They'll just keep autoplaying rather than us that select it. So have you seen they'll make titles that are the most gibberish titles you've ever seen, because kids don't care. But it's just perfect to catch the algorithms. And they'll have the perfect
Clickbait.
videos. Or
What do they
whatever.
call it?
And
Clickbait.
and the videos will make no sense. And I think they got busted YouTube as well, because people were doing that and putting harmful videos in, so kids can watch it. And but you look at these videos, I'm not joking, 200 million views, 300, and one after the other. And you gotta understand, like, these people are doing it. They don't care about the kids watching the content.
just
Their
want money.
intentions is nothing but money.
Yeah, of course.
Monetary.
But, like, just going off that
No,
unboxing
good
one, you know, the unboxing one that you
Yeah.
were talking about. Like, a lot of people do that now, even with social media. So if you got Facebook or Instagram, a lot of people, they buy an actual product and post it up as if
they got a gift.
They got a gift. Oh, thank you for sending me this. You know what I mean? When really, no, they didn't. They sent it to you because you ordered.
Exactly.
Like,
That's smart though.
don't fake it, right? Smart, because they're not sponsoring.
Okay, let me tell you something. Boys. Let me tell you. There's people. Me personally, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Creativity, bro. Have you ever been fishing? Have you ever been fishing, bro? When you get the fish, you gotta put. What do you gotta put on the hook?
You put that bait.
Say, I'll give you an example. Like when we go out fishing at Swan River, the brim. Same example. They're like, I don't know, chicken breadcrumbs. That you put together. You put it on the bait. You lose them in, bro. You catch the fish. You got the money back. Hey, if they're thinking like that, they don't care what you think. At the end of the day, money talks.
If it's too good to be true,
you know the rest.
The thing is, like, if you look at it, right, social media as a whole, and even this topic that we're discussing, we're not saying social media is bad, and we're not saying it's good. It all comes down to your intention and the way
100%.
you use it. It's a tool. It's a stage.
100%.
You create the character, and you interact with the audience the way you want to interact. If you're in the audience watching someone else, so you're a user and you're going through it, you need to be aware of the fact that what's being put is a show.
Don't lose yourself in the character.
Don't lose yourself. Yeah. Don't think that that's 24/7. What you see there is not 24/7. So
it's not even 9 to 5, to be honest. It's 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
At most. That's all it takes.
That's it. Some people post once a day.
yeah.
And that one time could have been choreographed so well just to make it look like that was.
They'll do a photo shoot one day out of the week and have it like, okay, this photo's for the Monday, this photo's for the Tuesday, this photo's, you know what I mean?
And they've got 6-7 different apps to try and cut it out, filter it, this, that, and just to make it perfect. But
I never understand that.
Yeah.
Which,
And
you know, if
I
that's
think if anybody wants to use social media to front as if like they are working hard, they want that validation at the end of it, you are a lot more likely to feel more happiness and more content if you do the actual work.
Yeah.
If you actually focus on your marriage rather than look like you're focusing on your marriage. Actually focus on your children rather than look like you're focusing on your children. Or focus on your business, focus on your studies rather than look like you're in class, look like you're actually working. If you focus on that stuff, you won't even have time, just like Jabbar said, where if you're having a good time, you're not even going to think about social media.
Exactly.
So if you're focusing on it, you're not even going to have time to try and post or whatever, right? And that validation will come, and it will feel a lot more.
I was about to say, because if I'm fronting and I put up this post, so I look at this post, Haji, I'm going to put up, it's amazing. I put it up. Most people are going to see it the first 2-3 days it's up, and then after that, like it's done. It's buried. You know what I mean? So I got this let's say it's a post about whatever it is. Like, look, me and my wife, we're doing so well. Those 3 days, I feel good. Look at my numbers go up. The rest of the week, you're back to the way it was. So but if you put if you put the actual time in, and that's what it's really like, you feel good if you do post it up those 3 days. And you feel good after because you still got that great relationship with your wife. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So rather than it being a temporary good, look at the numbers, I'm feeling good. Do you want to be, this is how it is all the time because you've achieved it.
Exactly.
So which one would you rather put your time in for, like 3 days, 3 minutes?
Because the other one is sustainable.
Yeah.
This one
make it more permanent.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And don't pamper to like the likes and the follows. I know in some cases it's important because people view you different when you've got 10K as opposed to 1,000 followers or 300 followers.
Yeah.
I know that's true, but the followers will come.
I ain't got no followers, bro. I'm the real deal, man.
The followers will come if you do the work correctly.
100%.
Right? And that's basically what we do. Like if you look at our posts, we don't care whether there's 300 likes or not. We don't care whether there's 1 like or not. The post is going up regardless. And we're going to be consistent at it.
Inshallah.
And it's going to be as authentic as it can be.
Yeah.
We don't filter nothing. We don't, we don't chop and change and mix it up to make it seem like we're actually out there in like some beautiful shit. No, man, we're at a home.
Yeah.
You know, we're
Talking
actually
about.
recording over here with some mics.
Yeah.
Some people actually comment and say, "Look, we can't even hear you on the mics."
Yeah.
That's the only reason we went and actually got new mics or whatever,
Yeah,
just to because
Exactly.
we didn't care about all of these other things. All we needed was the
Authenticity.
message to be out there.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. We can afford mics
Look,
like
yo,
a holiday.
the
5 stars, man.
The people who know us, obviously, you know what I mean?
Mm.
No, it's we're the real deal, bro.
Yeah.
On that note, man, do you want to get into the game, man? I think we had a great discussion.
We had a great
Look
discussion.
forward to.
Social
Yeah,
media.
hurry it up, man. I gotta
Don't worry
look at my
about
phone
social
after
media.
this.
This is the real. I've got the social media right here, man. In my hand, bro. All right, bismillah.
I can tell you've been on social media. That writing, man.
Okay.
Yalla.
Perfect your writing, yeah.
Yeah.
Handwriting's come on now. My handwriting's excellent, bro.
Let's not get into that.
All right, keep going.
Let's
going,
not get
go,
into
It's
go.
all
that.
about confidence.
That's gonna be a long ass debate, but
Let's not get into that.
If you can read it, it's all good.
after the podcast. All right. I've got 5 questions for you guys.
All right.
I've got 3 options. You got to choose one. Obviously, A, B, or C.
Oh, multiple choice.
Multiple choice, baby. Let's do this. What is the lion's life expectancy?
A lion.
Lion.
Mm-hmm.
A, 10 to 14 years. B, 6 to 8 years. Or C, 12 to 16 years. Have a think about it.
Well,
10
repeat
to
the question.
14.
10 to 14, 6 to 8, or 12 to 16.
I go with 12 to 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll say the same.
Yeah, because
There
I
are some
think it's
20
gonna
for
be
the
like a
Lions.
cup.
It's either A or C.
12 to 16.
I'll say 10 to 14,
Yeah,
bro.
it's one of those.
12, 16, 10 to 14.
I've heard of all the lines. So.
Yeah, I said 10 to 14. What are you?
Okay.
I'm at the
I'll go to 12, 16, 12, 16,
Yeah.
10, 14. You're all right. 10 to 14 easy.
Technically,
According
we're
to the
still alright,
internet,
yeah.
the World Wide Web, it's 10 to 14. You're
According
still
to
in the
social
zone,
media,
but
why
he's more accurate. You're still in the zone, but he's more accurate. All right.
We're
Now,
talking about Somali lions. They're a little bit more.
this
durable.
next one, the question is, Australia's population current to date, 2019, according to the internet,
Yeah. Is.
Go for it.
A, 26.722 million.
Okay.
B, 27.323 million. Or C, 25.415 million.
25.415.
Nah, I'll say 26.
I was going to say 26 too, but hold on. It's all
yeah,
close.
it's-
I'm like, I know the population's around 25,
Around 25,
26.
yeah.
So I think I got this question. You got
obviously
25,
Australia.
26, 27.
The population doesn't go up ridiculously.
It's going up. Well, recently it has been.
Nah,
We've been
it
having-
drops,
we've
it
actually
drops,
been having
it
that
drops and it
Wait,
fluctuates.
25 point what?
25.4. It's
Bro, it's
26 or
25,
27 or
26,
25.
27.
What do
Yeah,
you want?
pretty much it. 26,
Come on, bro.
27. You
Don't worry
added-
about the point.
You added a
Whatever.
million.
What about the
to
point? The point I've actually researched the stats, man. 2019.
Oh,
Yeah.
Consensus.
Come on, bro.
I remember 2016, 17 were around the 25 mil mark.
It's a shame if you two don't get it. That's the
Why?
Because you two are Australian.
Oh,
You
I
two
do the
live it.
consensus form. I'm checking the growth of the population.
This is according to the internet, man.
Like I said, the last time I
Australia's
checked, it
population
was
doesn't grow that
25.
much, bro.
Yalla, let's go 26.
26.
Even
You
though
said
my
20,
gut says 25.
27, 26.
No, 25.
I said 26.
It's from New Zealand. You got it. It's at
It's a
25.
shame if you guys don't get it.
25.415.
last year.
Nah, it was
According to the internet, the stats on the internet I've checked.
25 a couple of years.
2019.
Yeah,
No, it
but the
wasn't.
thing is, they don't check the population. Actually,
They
the
do the
population is
consensus.
checked on a regular basis.
On a regular basis,
Consensus,
bro.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
they've
it's
been-
not. It's not just the census. It's also that there's like a population clock as well.
Yeah, but they were saying that they were
You know,
having.
there's a population
Bro, let me
clock
tell you, let me
online
tell you, let me
that
tell
tells
you.
you
No,
as
but
soon as someone's dead, registered or whatever.
Yeah.
And then a newborn, someone enters the country, whatever. It's all updated on.
No, but they were saying that our
crazy.
population has
That's
been
crazy.
going up because in Sydney and Melbourne, they want people that move in not to be able to live in the city. They'll have to live rural first for the first 5 years before they can come into the city. They haven't made it official, but that's because the population has been growing so much.
Nah.
Well, in
And
Sydney?
the traffic is
Anyways.
very
Anyways,
slow.
let's
So
let's
I'm
go to
thinking,
the-
yeah.
Don't worry,
25.
we'll come back to Australia. Don't worry, I've got a few more Australian questions.
All right.
All right. Where is, out of the 3 options, the largest runway in the world? A, John F. Kennedy Airport in New York City. B, Sydney Airport, New South Wales. C, China Airport in Kwandam Bando.
China
Wait.
covers everything big.
Kwandam Bamba Airport.
John F. Kennedy.
I'm gonna say
John F. Kennedy.
Don't put. I'm not gonna give you.
I'ma
You guys
say-
just choose.
I'ma
Is
say
it in New York? Is it Sydney? Or is it in that China Kwambando? Whatever
I
it is.
say.
Sorry to the Chinese people if I pronounced it wrong.
D. Fast and Furious, which was that
Come on,
movie
bro.
that took
yeah,
forever
go
to
on,
take
bro.
off.
Go ahead.
I'll give you 3 options, bro.
John
I'm gonna
F.
say
Kennedy.
China, man. China does everything. Have you seen the bridges they're doing? I don't know, so I'm gonna guess
John F.
China.
Kennedy, I
China does
reckon.
everything big.
What'd you
JFK,
say?
New York. New
Yeah,
York.
JFK.
General
New
New
York.
York. See.
Yeah, I don't think it will be Sydney. Actually,
But I doubt Sydney.
Man, all the
The
questions
what? The biggest runway?
All the questions have been Australian.
Sydney
so far.
Airport's big, man.
It's big.
It has
But
multiple.
no,
runways.
he's talking about the runway, not the
I know,
airport.
I know.
I'm not
runway.
the longest runway. That means as in distance from point A to point B.
I think it might actually be Sydney
It
because
could be.
if you look at New York, for example, it's a very small city and it doesn't have a lot of space for it to have a big runway, as opposed to Sydney, which is
yeah,
Right.
open. Yeah.
open. I'm gonna go.
And I've
Sydney.
never heard.
I don't care.
I've never heard of
China. Yeah, but they got money. They got space.
I'm just gonna go with Sydney, just for the sake.
watch
of
him
it.
get
Sydney.
it. Watch him get
New
it.
York.
Yeah, he'll probably
China.
get it. Watch.
Who's gonna get
I
it?
go China. You
Sydney's
got New
probably
York.
gonna get it.
What are you going for?
I go for New York.
Abduljabar Jama.
China.
China.
Of course, China, man.
Bro, have you seen the
1 billion
railway
people.
they're
Yeah, it
making?
makes sense.
Bro,
Sydney will be up there. They've got the space.
They're building the most.
They've
Have
got
you
the
seen
space.
Yeah. Next one. Let's
China,
go.
man.
All right.
So that's
Another one with
2-1-1.
distance.
2-1-0.
Where's the longest river in Australia?
Sorry.
The longest river in Australia.
And
Yeah.
it's a shame if you guys.
The
don't
Murray River, right?
get the
Which
Murray
is
River.
goes between South Australia and Victoria. I'm giving you where the
Okay.
locations. The Paroo River, which goes between Queensland and New South Wales, or our local Swan River, which is quite big.
I'm gonna say that's one, mate.
Swan.
Yeah.
Did you say the largest or the longest?
The longest.
Swan goes pretty far. I don't know about that. I'm just rooting for my
Bro,
hometown.
I'm gonna go the first one.
I'm gonna
Murray
say,
River.
bro,
Murray
Murray
River,
is going
yeah.
between South Australia and Victoria.
Yeah, I'm
Peru
gonna-
goes between Queensland and New
South
South Wales.
Australia.
But it could
No,
be just a
listen.
little part of,
But-
like just across the water as well.
Well, you got Swan River. Which one do you want, bro?
But the
I'll
thing
go
is-
Murray River.
Murray.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's go. Let's see.
Shabai,
I'm gonna go Swan.
Swan.
I'm
Okay.
guessing I might as well guess my own.
I'm gonna take the last one. What
Swan?
was it? Well, no, what was the second
Peru,
one, sorry?
Peru, between Queensland and New South Wales. That's the middle one. Last one, Swan River,
The other
and
one's
Murray's
South
River,
Australia,
South Australia, Victoria.
I think South Australia and
They're
Victoria.
right next to
is-
each other.
yeah,
Queensland's and New South Wales connect. Both states are
I
connecting.
know,
bro.
I know. I'm thinking. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go with How long is it from Queensland to New South Wales?
They're right next
It
to each other.
depends.
No, I know, but like,
Which this is?
You want me to
From
show
where
you a
to
map
where?
of
This
the-
is-
I'm not saying the city.
Yeah.
I'm not
Water,
saying.
water.
no, I'm like, okay,
Brisbane to-
driveways.
You want
10 hour
you want a
drive?
map of it?
From
Or is it
Brisbane
just-
to Sydney.
Yeah, so
10 hours, yeah.
10 hours, yeah.
Yeah.
But South Australia to Victoria.
That's
It's
about
about the same distance, bro. I reckon.
nah, it's about
Half.
6-7 hours.
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
Who
was
cares,
saying.
bro? I'm gonna go with the
10
Queensland
hours.
one.
You're not.
Queensland.
I like your logic, man. But I'm afraid Haji's right.
Murray
there you
River.
got it.
My river between South Australia and
Shit out of
Victoria.
distance.
Okay.
Next one.
This one,
So 2-1.
obviously, you guys should know, but I'm not going to give you any options for this one. Australia's most densely populated suburb, according to the stats of 2019, most densely populated suburb.
Auburn.
No. Actually, think about it. Most densely populated suburb in Australia.
Like
Oh.
probably.
No,
Nah, but if
bro,
you
this
think
can be
about it,
anywhere.
it'll be
I'm going to give you hot topics.
be
They can be,
Melbourne with
Are you
It can be-
gonna give us
it can be
options or not?
anywhere. It can be in the city, right?
Uh,
It could be on the outskirts of the city.
All right, go. Are you gonna give us options, or are we just gonna choose?
All right.
That's what I mean. Options will be a little bit
The
easier.
options, I don't have any options, but I'll give you
Okay, narrow it down to one
I'll
state.
New South Wales.
Okay.
The city,
ah.
I'll give you, obviously, Sydney, but I'll give you the distance.
It's between what suburb and what suburb.
The furthest out you can go is...
Don't
Nah, don't worry. As long as it's within
Sydney.
If it's within
that's it.
Sydney.
We'll-
And
we'll
And I'm
give
getting
it
to
up.
it. Can be in the,
I'm
it can be,
saying, like,
it can be
the Sydney
suburbs,
boys jump.
suburbs
What you gonna
within the
say,
city.
Fairfield?
Yeah. Or
No,
outside,
yeah.
yeah.
Outside the city.
At night, yeah.
at night,
I'm
yeah.
joking.
It's either Lakemba, Auburn, or Bankstown.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with.
Lakemba.
He said densely populated.
Think
Yeah.
densely
So
populated.
think of a place
What
with a
does
lot
densely
of
mean, bro?
flats. So if there's
Thank
one
you very
suburb
much.
that's
Lakemba.
larger than another suburb,
Thank
so
you very
size will
much.
matter.
Lakemba.
And so yeah.
Lakemba.
Uh,
Auburn, there aren't that many flats.
I know, but Bankstown is a lot bigger. Auburn is not.
Densely
populated.
Once us
populated, the more people
I'll say
from
it
more
again.
flats.
Yeah, so what he means is it can be big or small. It's
populated.
just per square, whatever, kilometer.
I'm just gonna
Think
go
about it,
Bankstown,
bro.
bro. I don't care. I'm gonna go
Bankstown.
Bankstown.
Densely populated.
Densely populated.
You say-
Perth City then. Sydney CBD. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
Jabbar.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for the Sydney.
Okay.
aspect.
Yeah, it actually might be. Surrey Hills.
You know. Oh.
What's the suburb?
Now
next
we're
to
getting
this?
close.
What's the suburb next to Surrey? What's the suburb
He's throwing
right next to
suburbs.
Surrey
He's throwing
Hills that's really
suburbs. Now we're
busy?
getting close. We have to go to the map. Say we
Is
have.
it, that's really busy. That has a lot of just.
Come on,
I don't know,
bro.
Redfern around that area.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Redfern.
Redfern.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go.
You two
yeah,
guys
Surrey
know
Hills.
Sydney.
These are Sydney guys.
City
Oh,
very
Surrey
well.
Hills.
We'll see.
He said CBD.
You guys are very close.
Yeah, CBD.
You guys are going suburbs, man. Auburn, Lakamba, what the heck? Potts Point.
Potts Point.
Yeah, you know what that is?
I don't know what that is.
Woolloomooloo. Oh, Woolloomooloo, that area of the city, Woolloomooloo.
Fair enough.
That's one of the indigenous names for the Aborigines.
That was good, man.
Woolloomooloo
That was
suburb,
good.
yeah.
Good questions, bro.
That's actually a few good questions.
According to the stats of 2019, Australia.
Australia's population didn't grow that much.
Nah,
Fair
it didn't
enough.
go, bro.
didn't.
Bro,
That's
you
pretty
got,
sad.
a lot of people think, you got to think about it, bro. Yeah?
For every person that comes in,
A lot of
somebody
people come in.
dying, yeah.
And there's a lot of people born. But at the same time, a
People
lot of
dying and people leaving.
Australia has a large number of aged people, man.
Citizens, yeah.
Citizens,
Which is
yeah.
a good thing.
yeah.
It means they're getting older.
No.
But I would have thought we would increase in population not because of birth or death rates, just because of people coming in.
No.
Nah,
Australia's best
Australia's
kept
tight,
secret,
man.
bro. That's what they
You
say.
don't want them to
Oh,
come
the thing
here.
is a lot.
Stay out our country.
no.
man.
No. The thing about Australia is it's a beautiful country. Alhamdulillah, bro. We live in a beautiful country. But the thing is, it's so fun. It's so isolated, bro.
Not anymore.
No. Honestly.
No, not anymore. It's
What's the world's central hub? Dubai, yeah? From
Nah,
like
yeah,
Perth.
he's right.
It's
No,
like
no,
11
no,
hours
I'm
to
talking
get to
about
Dubai,
like
bro.
countries.
For example, Perth used to be the most isolated city in the world. Or
It still is, yeah.
But
still is.
now we got flights directly to the UK, to London and stuff like that.
That's like 17, 18 hours, bro.
No, but what I'm saying is people from the UK that end up going where? Sydney, Melbourne, Indonesia, whatever it is, they go all the way around.
Yeah.
Now they'll have to, the easiest way was them to come straight to Perth and then from Perth to wherever they
You're going to go on an 18-hour flight, 17-hour flight, straight?
Didn't
No,
they?
I get your point, and I also get his point. Yeah.
Bro,
It's
you always
made
take
closer,
the
but at the
you
end of
always
the day,
take the
you're
cheapest
still
Yeah,
flight.
the same
you're
distance
still
away.
isolated.
You
Yeah.
always take the cheapest
I
flight.
reckon
That
that'll be the
18-hour
most.
flight would be the
I reckon
cheapest
that
flight.
will be
Come
the
on,
most
guys.
expensive. That'll be the most
Nah,
expensive
whoa,
flight.
whoa,
Guys,
We'll search it up after
That's
this.
the topic.
Nah, we'll search it. That'll be
another
more expensive,
episode.
bro.
That's topic for after the episode, inshallah. But on that note, man, I think we had a great discussion about the negatives, the positives, the tricks of social media. Some good trivia questions. I've learned a few things myself. And on that note, thank you guys for tuning in. Catch you guys next week. Stay tuned, inshallah.
Peace.
Take it easy.